All right, welcome to Friday Night Live. We are sponsored by Craig Faile, owner of Blackbridge Financial. Make sure you check out Blackbridge Financial for all your financial needs. They can help you with making good decisions about your money. Um, and they've got some great tools to help you do that. Man, what a second round night of playoff action. I feel like I get on here every night and I say, "Wow, what a night!" but yeah, tonight had some eye-opening games in a lot of different ways. So while everybody's getting on, I'll kind of share with you where we were tonight. So me and producer Brandon Black were at JM Robinson as they hosted Kings Mountain, and in this game, JM Robinson kind of put um, a lot of concerns to rest about their um, supposed weak schedule. They came out and they were ready to play football, and they went up 27-0 in the first half over Kings Mountain, which, I was there with several high school football media people, and we were all shocked. um, Several people watched the preview show, and several people gently reminded me that I picked Kings Mountain to win the game. And that's fine. That's fine. This was the first game that I can remember that I had several fans yelling from the crowd during halftime to remind me about that. And that that's cool. And to those fans, I told you that I had you tonight, and I had some crow I was gonna eat, but then I ate it all. I forgot about it. So um that being said, I will just straight up say that I was wrong in that prediction. And obviously J.M. Robinson went out there and just handled business from the start, and it was impressive. Kings Mountain tried to make a run of it. They cut it to 27-14 in the fourth quarter. They had some momentum going, but then J.M. Robinson put a nice drive together, got it back to 34-14, and then they got an interception on the ensuing drive from Kings Mountain, and then it was over. And then that's when we left because it was cold. Um, but that being said, I am going to reach out to some J.M. Robinson players tomorrow and try to get a couple quick interviews. Coach Seidel sent me some names of some players um, that we should talk to. So I'll reach out to those guys on Twitter, and we'll see if we can get a couple of interviews out there because there were some guys that played really well on both sides of the ball in that game. Quarterback John Bissonette, I thought was really impressive. He made good decisions the vast majority of the night. I can only remember one pass that he threw that was questionable. Dominic Testa had a good game catching and running the football. LJ Smooth Watson has set the tone. He scored the first touchdown, had a nice drive running the football. The freshman running back Ennis Styles, I thought was impressive. I mean, he runs years beyond being a freshman. I thought the offensive line for Jam Robinson did a really good job as well. Miles Hudson, linebacker, stood out. He had a touchdown on a play. You'll see it when we do the highlights tomorrow. Kings Mountain threw kind of like a lateral pass, and he was very aware that he picked it up and ran it back, and the whistle hadn't blown. It was a very smart play, and that really was kind of a catalyst for the beginning of that game where Jam Robinson just kind of took control. Um, and then there were some other guys that played well also. But my general thought was I made a comment on the sideline before the game, and I said it just doesn't feel like a playoff game. Like it was just really quiet pregame. Um, Jan Robinson was in their locker room, and Kings Mountain was on their side of the field, trying to kind of just get ready. But the impression was that Jan Robinson came ready to play, and Kings Mountain didn't really turn it on till like the middle of the third quarter. Um, and I think if they play with that effort, for 4 quarters, then we have more of a game. But I mean, Jan Robinson came out the gates, ready to go. And in the first half, Kings Mountain was just kind of like I don't know, in a weird malaise, I guess might be the best word to put it there. But I mean, Jan Robinson played really well, so they had a lot to do with that. But that was just my general impression there. All right, so we got 17 comments. Wow. All right, well, let's see what you guys want to talk about. So let's go. All right, we're gonna scroll up here. Dudley boys. Yep, we got a Dudley J.M. Robinson matchup next week. Dudley coming down to J.M. Robinson this year. Me and producer will probably be there because I really want to see Dudley and I really want to see this matchup, which is a repeat of the third round matchup last year. And then Reedsville, yeah, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. If you're not aware, Reedsville is in the 2A West. They're I believe they're the number 1 seed. They got beat. They got beat tonight by East Rutherford. I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was 27-26 was the final. And in our CFI group chat, Coach Dove, Robert Washington, mentioned that he brought up East Rutherford, and we were kind of breaking down brackets and things like that on the show a couple weeks ago. And I think that came to fruition. I mean, you start thinking about East Rutherford, a lot of us kind of felt like they had some offense, but we weren't sure defensively they were able to slow down some of the top teams, but they were able to get that done tonight. And that's impressive. And that's a testament to that program, because a lot of you may not know that team did not have a program 3 years ago, and they literally rebuilt it from the JVs. I think they played JV for maybe 1 or 2 years before getting a varsity team back. So that's a huge credit to that coaching staff and to those players. They've got some good players out there. Off the top of my head, I know Trevor Jenkins at left tackle is a very good player. So they've got some other ones as well that stand out. But that's a heck of an upset victory. That's awesome stuff right there. All right, Coach Peavy from Corvian. Corvian continuing to get it done. They get a big win in the second round, 42-7 over Mitchell. And they're gonna keep rolling. Who y'all got next, Coach? Let me know who y'all got next. He says Mitchell had 6. Okay, well, let us know who you had next. Either way, impressive victory right there for Corvian in the 1A West ranks. Big offensive lineman Deontay Berry from Huff all year. Wow. Well, yeah. I had several people sending me updates about the Huff Independence matchup, and there wasn't a lot of drama in this game. I mean, Huff won it convincingly, 47-3 over Independence. And, sometimes, you just talk with your pads, and that's what Huff did. There's not a lot to say. You see that kind of margin. I mean, they're legit, they're real, they got everything you want. And like I was saying on the show earlier this week, the biggest difference between this Huff team and previous Huff teams is the offense. The offense is explosive. I saw Tyron Evans had a couple of big touchdown catches tonight. The explosive element of the Huff offense makes them so dangerous. It's like the third missing piece that they had. Like they've always been able to run the ball. They've been able to throw the timing passes, the quick passes, but that explosive element, you have to play the whole field with them consistently. And the way Coach Baker and those guys, mix up their play calling, they, give you formation, they give you motion, they give you shift, the setup matchups that, go in their favor, big offensive line that protects well, and they can come off the football and run block. Offensive line is the engine, and that's another big difference. I think all 5 positions are really good up front. And then obviously defensively, a couple people told me tonight they're just so fast. They're fast to the football. I mean, it speaks for itself. They're the best in Charlotte, man. We said that after Mallard Creek. But you start thinking and looking at the other teams across the state in 4A West. You're thinking there's a collision course with Grimsley, who I know, they want, because of last year. And then, you see Weddington down there as the 2 seed. They got by Sun Valley tonight in another rematch. So, yeah, the Huskies are it right now. But I'll tell you this, when I asked Coach Baker that question in the media day earlier this year, when they said they went back and they looked at, the things they need to do to advance in the playoffs, that is playing out right now. That is playing out. And those guys, play with such an edge and a drive that it's really impressive. So, a lot of people now believe, even more so that this is their time. And, you see that message right there from Mr. Berry on that offensive line. That belief is, embedded in that team. So, you got to congratulate them. That's a hell of a performance, and that's a great job to those players and that coaching staff. That's really good stuff. Luke Zabo, appreciate you coming out. Yeah, man. You guys are very hospitable. The AD out over there, Patrick Helm and Coach Seidel, were very friendly. And the fans, like I said, the fans that shouted us out or called me out were very nice about it. And like I said, we'll probably be back there next week. So hopefully we'll see you again. Jonathan Mitchell, yeah, what a night. What a night, man. It just goes right back to what I said about Huff just a second ago. It's really impressive, man. J-Man, Mooresville, big win, 27-10 over Northwest Guilford. So J-Man had a big night, 120 yards rushing, a touchdown, a forced fumble and recovery on a kickoff coverage, and 2 tackles. Man, getting it done, man. That's impressive. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, man. And I'm happy for Mooresville, the program and the fans. They've had a they call it a curse, but they hadn't been past the second round since 2011. And they're in the 3rd round now. And they got a matchup against East Forsyth that, we're definitely going to talk about, on our next preview show, which will be Sunday night, by the way. That'll be Sunday night. That's going to be a heck of a football game. They got to go up to East Forsyth because East Forsyth defeated West Forsyth tonight. East Forsyth's a 3 seed. Mooresville is a 6 seed. So Mooresville will be on the road. But they got a chance. I think they got a good chance. That's going to be a heck of a football game right there. So Dudley was over AC Reynolds tonight, 42-0, setting up that matchup next week with J.M. Robinson. Laramie Watson, good to see you. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was good to see you too, man. I hope your son's all right. I know he kind of tweaked something. But it didn't look too bad, but I hope he's okay. And yeah, it's always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. Trayvon Gaither. So first of all, before I say this, Trayvon, you got called out tonight. I ain't gonna say who called you out. I was at the game at J.M. Robinson and somebody called you out. So just know that what you say on here is being taken seriously. Anyway, Hickory 42, Statesville 7. He says Statesville looked like they gave up in the first quarter for being down 21-0. But yeah, we just talked about East Rutherford and Reedsville right there. But yeah, I saw the scores coming across, and Hickory obviously, yeah, they were ready to play, and they remembered what happened last time. And those conference rematches, are tough, man, and they can, kind of go this way sometimes. So, but Statesville will be okay. And Hickory, we see obviously is in their championship mode. And we'll take a look and see who they've got next here before we end the show tonight. Ty, what's up, man? I just talked about you. And you guys don't know, this is Tyron Evans, the receiver from Huff that we were just talking about. And I saw you had a couple big plays tonight, man. Congratulations on the victory. I saw some people saying online that you're, rated a 3-star by some recruiting services and that you should be higher. And yeah, I agree. I agree with that. You're a big part of what the Huff offense is doing really well, and I'm really excited for you. I'm glad to see it. You're a good kid. You deserve everything coming your way, man. Keep it up. Jesse Villanueva. Who hit who in the mouth? Yeah. J.M. Robinson was ready to go, man. They're ready to go. And definitely they delivered the blow. And it took Kings Mountain a while to respond, but even then it was too late. So there you go. And it was good to see you, Jesse. Good to meet you tonight. Good to meet you tonight, man. Let's see. Antonio, star defensive lineman for Ashbrook. Ashbrook with a big win. 31-28 over South Point. And Joe Hughes was there. I don't know if Joe's on. Let me scroll down and see. No, he's probably writing articles. But he was giving updates from that game. And I had to go back and look and see, how things kind of, went. But I did see, I know South Point was up 14-0. And then Ashbrook came back and scored. And then from there, that's where I kind of lost it until I saw the end of the game where Caleb Gordon had an interception. South Point was down 31-28 trying to come back. But Caleb Gordon had an interception, over the middle of the field to kind of seal the victory for you guys. And, it's really hard to beat a good team twice. And South Point was number 2 seed in the bracket. Ashbrook is a 15. And then Ashbrook was the only team that defeated South Point during regular season play. So even doubly difficult to get that done at South Point, which is a very hard place to go in and win, especially in the playoffs. And Ashbrook did that. There's something really, really special starting to happen with that Green Wave team. And Coach Darius James doing a hell of a job, man. And have to shout him out, have to shout out his coaching staff, for getting that done and going in there and getting a big victory and moving on in the playoffs. Now, I don't even know who you guys have next. I have to get the bracket up, but we're going to do that at the end of the show. But Tony, I've been seeing you get some recruiting attention too, and it's deserved. I think you're a really good player, man. So congratulations to you and the Green Wave. Great job tonight, man. Great job. All right, our Clover guy, Marnie Bird. Oh, man, Clover went down. Lost in the second round to a very good JL Man team, 44-14. Good season, finishing 8-4. Coach Wilbright got the program in the right direction. Yeah, 8-4 is a good season. I know a lot of teams would take 8-4. A lot. So yeah, there's no shame in that, man. There's no shame in that. And I know Coach Wilbright's been around the block, and he knows how to build programs. So, and Clover's got a good area to pull talent from too. So they ain't going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere at all, man. All right. So, and there's that Ashbrook South Point score. Thank you, Tonio. Corvian has Eastern Randolph next. Okay. All right. Good deal, Coach. Good deal. Trayvon Gaither also sharing that East Rutherford ran the ball down the Reidsville defense. They had 355 yards rushing. Good gracious. Whew. That's hard to do. That's a lot of work, man. And you know, it's impressive to have that in the second round of the playoffs, just being physical. And I kind of talked about it on the show. When it gets cold, you know, you want to establish that physicality and run into football, you know, and with 355 is a lot. That's dang on. That's great right there. Chat administrators here. Yes, I alluded to the fact that, you know, the Mooresville curse has been lifted and you guys are in the third round. So also adding 2011. Yep, I shared that as well. So good stuff right there. Todd Bush, Kings Mountain fan, says Kings Mountain boys just didn't show up to the second half. Yeah. That echoes the sentiment that, you know, I shared a few minutes ago. And I don't know why. I mean, sometimes, you know, things happen, man. I don't know. But you know, there'll be some good guys coming back from that team next season. But you're losing some good seniors too. Antonio Armstrong is a really good player. We've had him at our camp. He comes from a good family. I know his brother will be back at quarterback, but Antonio's a really good player, man. He's getting some college offers too. So, you know, he hadn't played his last game on the field, but last high school game, but he's gonna play in college. You know, that's awesome, man. Mr. Moore checking in. Yep. Yeah, we just talked about Ashbrook and that big win right there. What do y'all got? Y'all let me know who y'all got, man, because I haven't got the brackets up yet. Let's go down here. Trayvon Gaither says 3A West very tough. Yeah. West Charlotte, we hadn't mentioned them yet. They beat West Rowan 60-3. So they are playing very well. They're playing very well. And we'll see. They've got the number 1 seed Irwin up in Asheville next week. Irwin defeated oh gosh, I don't remember their opponent, but we'll go through it at the end of the show. So West Charlotte will have to hit the road next week, but that's a good matchup for them. I would favor West Charlotte right now over Irwin on paper. So we'll dig into that on Sunday. James Law, Huff winning state stamp. Ooh, okay. I mean, based on what we've seen, they're definitely a favorite. James. Yeah, we just talked about Ashbrook, South Point. Great job, Saran. You and your teammates, man. Way to pull that out. Offensive lineman from Huff, Omri Lawrence Broom says you'll see us holding that trophy December 21st. All right. I like it. I like the confidence, man. You know, we're pulling for you. We're all pulling for you in Charlotte, man. That's for sure. No matter what anybody says. Trayvon Gator says, yeah, community school David. Yeah, they did. Shout out to Coach TJ Albert, man. I was telling somebody that he's a underrated coach, man. He's an underrated coach, and he's doing a great job. Those guys are peaking at the right time to go into Mount Pleasant and beat them that well. That's impressive. That was on the road. That's good stuff right there. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I got you, chat administrator. I got you. Let's see here. Dakota McCann checking in says Salisbury 12. Man, I didn't even see that. That's our boy, Coach Tatum at Walkertown. He went down to Salisbury. That's another rematch. You know, we saw it in week 1. Walkertown beat Salisbury 47-33, and this was a much different game. It was a defense struggle, 12-6. Salisbury got their revenge, man. And then West Stokes, 35-21 over East Surrey. So Coach Loman beats his old school. Wow. That's good stuff right there for West Stokes. Okay, so Ashbrook has North Lincoln. Oh, wow. Okay, that's another heavy run team. Different kind of run game, but still a heavy run attack. So that's an interesting game right there. Ooh, another physical game. Oh, good one. I'll be talking about that on Sunday. Yep, thank you, Trayvon. Appreciate that. Okay. I think that's all the comments right now. So let's go to brackets and see what they've got updated here. I'll get that on the screen. If I can navigate this the right way. Hopefully they got it updated here. Okay. So, yep. So we got it updated. All right. So let's go through these and I'll let me get this on the screen so y'all can see what I'm talking about here. Okay. All right, we're just talking about the West. So the West is on the right side of the screen here. All right, so Grimsley defeated was that Southeast Guilford 58-21 tonight with a big second half. Interesting thing here. Game was 28-21 at halftime according to the box score here. And then Grimsley scored 30 unanswered in the second half to put it away. So maybe Grimsley's looking a little vulnerable right there. Interesting. But they got to get past Charlotte Catholic. Charlotte Catholic defeated Palisades tonight 31-7. Charlotte Catholic's got to go up to Grimsley. So another Charlotte school going up to Grimsley. Hopefully they'll have the calls on their side. But that'll be interesting to see how that plays out right there. Of course, we talked about Huff defeating Independence 47-3. And Huff will get the winner of Mallard Creek and Watauga, which was not played tonight due to wintry conditions in Watauga. This game is going to be played tomorrow. So Huff will have an advantage of having an extra day to prepare and recover from a game. And if Mallard Creek wins, we got a rematch at Huff. But if Watauga wins, Huff will have to go to Watauga next week. So that would be an interesting deal for Huff if they have to go on the road. But based on what we saw tonight, we'd have to favor them over Watauga if that's the matchup. If it's Mallard Creek, you have to favor Huff over anyone right now. The way they're playing football on the field. So in the other half of the bracket, East Forsyth in another conference rematch defeated West Forsyth, their rival, 56-19. As I said, we'll play Mooresville next week in a very interesting game that we'll delve into Sunday night. And Mooresville defeating once again Northwest Guilford 27-10. In the bottom half of the bracket, I was hoping Marvin Ridge would pull this off, and they led this game at halftime 24-14, but Northern Guilford found a way to get 14 points in the fourth quarter to come back and win 28-24 over Marvin Ridge. I was pulling for them, but they go down, and then Northern Guilford, their reward is to come down here and play Weddington, who defeated Sun Valley in another conference rematch 35-12 tonight. To be honest with you, I like Weddington to move on right there over Northern Guilford and get to the fourth round, where they will play the winner of East Forsyth and Mooresville, and then Huff and the winner of Mallard Creek Watauga would play the winner of Grimsley and Charlotte Catholic. So we're getting down to it. We're getting down to it here. Third round of playoffs next week. So let's go to 3A. Take a look at their bracket. All right, so we talked about Irwin. Irwin defeated Smoky Mountain 35-14 tonight. And then we talked about West Charlotte defeating West Moran. It says 44-3, but West Charlotte reported it as 60-3. So I'll take their word. Irwin is going to host West Charlotte next Friday night up in Irwin. Irwin's in Asheville, so that's where West Charlotte will be going next week. And of course, we talked about Dudley defeating AC Reynolds 42-0. Robinson defeating Kings Mountain. So then Dudley and Robinson. This game is at Robinson this year. Last year, Robinson went to Dudley and lost in the third round. This time, Dudley comes down to play Robinson. This is a game that we are probably going to be at next week. So that'll be really exciting to see that. So there's Hickory and Statesville 42-7. Crest defeating Oak Grove 35-7. First time we mentioned that. So we got a really, really fun matchup with Hickory hosting Crest next week. Wow. Big time game right there in 3A West. And then we got we get that right. North Lincoln defeating West Henderson 54-14. Good gracious. And then we talk about Ashbrook defeating South Point 31-28. So North Lincoln as a 10 seed gets another home game, something they probably weren't expecting, but that's a nice little gift right there. They'll host number 15, Ashbrook, next Friday night. So good football game right there. Two physical football teams that can run the football. Good stuff. All right, let's look at 2A. Okay, there's the East Rutherford upset right there over Reedsville, 27-26. They will play Brevard, who defeated Bunker Hill, 37-29. So Brevard, after going on the road, gets a home game right there against East Rutherford. And I'll delve into that matchup briefly on Sunday. Salisbury over Walkertown, 12-6. And in Forest Hills, and I thought this would happen, Forest Hills defeating Randleman. I'm trying to pull the details up, but there we go. Forest Hills defeating Randleman 38-21, shutting them out in the second half. So Salisbury and Forest Hills will have a matchup next Friday night in the third round. All right, Monroe big over Burns, 56-14 tonight. And then we talked about West Stokes over East Surrey, 35-21. So West Stokes will move on, and they'll go down to Monroe, the 3 seed, next week. And Monroe's looking really strong so far here in the playoffs. So there's the Community School Davidson win over Mount Pleasant, 30-7. Shelby defeated Maiden, 28-0. And as Trayvon Gaither said, Community School Davidson will go to Shelby next week. Really interesting game right there on a couple different levels that we'll delve into on a Sunday night. All right, to finish it out, let's go to the 1A bracket. Okay. So Mount Airy defeated Mountain Island 35-14 tonight. I did speak with Coach Dub, Robert Washington. He felt like they had some chances right there. They just couldn't take advantage of some opportunities they had offensively to get the game a little closer. So Mount Airy will move on, and they'll play Starmount, who defeated, I believe that is South Stanley, 37-13 tonight. So rematch. Once again, Mount Airy and Starmount faced each other in the regular season. Mount Airy won that matchup 21-14 back in the regular season, so they'll play once again here in the third round of the playoffs. There's Corby we talked about defeating Mitchell 42-6, and then Eastern Randolph defeating who was that? Cherokee 42-0. So Corvian now is the 5 seed will have to go on the road to play at Eastern Randolph next week. I don't know where Eastern Randolph is. And then I guess there's a Randolph County, all right, somewhere in the middle of the state. We'll find out where Eastern Randolph is for Sunday's show. Bottom half of the 1A West bracket. Murphy gets past Christ the King 21-11 here. Oh, what happened? There we go. Yep, Murphy gets past Christ the King 21-11. And then they'll play the winner of Bessemer City, Robbinsville, which does not have an updated score. Anybody know what Bessemer City, Robbinsville score was? We don't have it here. Anyway, Murphy will play that winner. And finally, we've got, was that? East Wooks and North Rowan. East Wooks defeating North Rowan 33-30. So East Wooks will move on and play the winner of Hayesville Mountain Heritage, which also has no score. So, all right, there you go. So Eastern Randolph is in the Asheboro area. Okay, near the zoo. Okay. It's not far from Randleman. Whoa, that doesn't help me, but I take your word for it. Todd Bush says Bessemer City lost. Okay, so that means, let's go back to that. That means Murphy and Robbinsville will play, and that's a common matchup from the mountains. So those two teams will be familiar with each other. The 3 seed Murphy and the 11 seed Robbinsville will match up in the third round next week. All right. So thank you, chat administrator. Appreciate that's why you're the best chat administrator around. Dang on it, man. The best one. All right. For J.M. Robinson Kings Mountain fans, pictures are up on our photo site. We'll share those out on Instagram and Facebook here in the next few minutes. Video will be tomorrow. Reach out to J.M. Robinson players. Try to get a couple interviews out there tomorrow. Playoff preview show for round 3 will be Sunday night at 7 p.m. On these same outlets that you're watching us right here. We'll promote that later on this weekend. And then Tuesday night, mark your calendars, Tuesday night at 7:30, we are going to do a special recruiting show only. It'll only be a show about recruiting. We feel like we're at a time where we need to talk about where we are as far as high school football recruiting goes. It's a critical nature. It's a critical nature right now. So we're going to dedicate a whole show just talking about high school football recruiting. So parents, players, please have your questions. We will take a lot of questions. We're going to share a lot of information, stuff that we've heard directly from college coaches. We'll talk about how important it is that you need to, if you're a junior or senior especially, you need to attend our showcase coming up on December 7th. It's a real critical time. And we'll have an announcement also. We're going to have an opportunity for sophomores to join the showcase, because now I think we're at a real important point to where we need to give more players an opportunity to be showcased in front of college coaches, and we're going to try to do that here in the winter as well. We already do that in the spring, but we're going to try to do it in the winter also. All right, so Jesse Villanueva, you got in right before the buzzer. It's a shout out to J.M. Robinson's Ricky Torres. All right, got 2 interceptions in the fourth quarter. Okay, well, we got one of them. So the first one is when we decide to leave, but that is on video, so that'll be in the it'll be in the highlight package. So I think I talked to Ricky and over the summer we did a series of interviews at J.M. Robinson. I think I talked to him. He's a good kid. All right. I appreciate you guys for watching as always. If you want to check out those pictures, they'll be out shortly from J.M. Robinson Kings Mountain. Highlights tomorrow. Playoff show. Preview show for round 3 on Sunday. Recruiting show on Tuesday. Got a lot going on, man. It's a busy time, but it's the best time of the year. Charlotte Football Insiders, we got you covered. Make sure you get inside with us on Sunday. And everybody have a good weekend. Let's go Panthers. We're going to take out the Chiefs, baby. 3 in a row for Bryce Young. You heard it here first. Good night, everybody. Or good morning.